Time to start the noisemaker for hopefully the last time this year. If you watched the last video, you know that I was having problems with the strip till machine over here. And as close as we are to running out of time before our ground freezing up, we've got Sam, Tillage man Sam and Ron are gonna come out and see if they can adjust the closing discs on the back of this thing. Get that thing right so we can give it a fair shot. And I'm gonna take the Mnmillennial Storm across the road and try to finish up some tillage this morning. No, I really like this Mnmillennial Storm, the way it's got the adjustability to it. It's so versatile. The downfall for us right now is we don't have a big enough tractor on it, so I can only go about 7 miles per hour. This is a 27 foot, but I've got both banks cranked up to 14 degrees, doing as much tillage as I can. It would do a better job if I could go 10 miles per hour with a bigger horse on it, but I just don't have a bigger horse for it at the moment. But I like the adjustability of it. The machine is just so versatile. I really like it. It's nice and handy to have around. Sam, yes, third one from the left. I'd say measure that one and then copy the spacing on that one. That's the one where I got them both moved and it worked out much better. Drastic improvement. I'm done with this piece, and now I'm gonna head a mile south over to where they were throwing some drain tile in for us and level out the drain tile lines, level out the boils from that before Jim gets to it with the ripper. Try not to leave mud on the road. They're just about finished up here. You can see the backhoe at work over here, and you can see the spoil here where it pulls up the ground, and I just want to level that off quick before Jim gets to it with the ripper. The nicer that is now, the nicer it'll be in the spring. Well, that's doing a really nice job of leveling that. Morning, Jim. Are they moving?
Yep.
Time to get the sweep going in the wet bin. Oh boy. There we go. This is the last little bit of the wet corn we have for 2020, so we'll run this through the dryer, get it in a bin, and then we'll core what's left of our bins that need to be cored and run them in here. While the dryer finishes up, I'm going to take the Ranger out to a field to the north here where we got the tile guy going. I kind of want to see the job it's doing, make sure we're going to go there. Oh yeah, look at that. That's going to be nice. These end rows have been bad for a while. In this spot here, they had to cut a little bit deeper. It's just crazy to me what you find sometimes underneath. I mean, this is a heavy black field, but you dig a little bit deeper and we got beach sand. That's just crazy. I never would have expected that. We have pockets of it. Obviously there's one here that I didn't know about. I've actually seen where the sand pockets will almost trap water in them because you just get like a sand pit underground in the middle of a field that doesn't go anywhere. So all the water gets drawn into that sand and it can't escape there. It just sits in that sand pocket. You run a tile to that and it clears it up like nothing. It's crazy because that sand will filter so well, so the water goes right out of there. And here's the end of the strip. There's an open ditch that doesn't really run often that comes through here at the neighbor's line, and once it hits our property, we took it underground here years and years ago all the way across through here. So now we're tying into that and gonna clean everything up to the west. I suppose I better get to work. We are just about out of wet corn in the wet bin, so while I wait for that to run out, let's clean some stuff up. We're all empty in here. There, beautiful. Now I'm guessing Jim finished. We're all done ripping corn ground. And I don't even see any sheared bolts on the shanks. But we do have an issue with the sump in the bin that I gotta pull up and See why it's not sliding nicely. Jim, you finished down there?
Yes, sir.
Now what?
I'm done.
Now you're done. You quit forever.
What day are you?
Well,
You got one that freaking ring slipped on.
yep.
God, they should have had better things than that.
Yeah, they did it's a poor design, that's for sure. Do you want to actually hang on?
Probably need an Allen wrench, huh? Or is it got
It's got a bolt in it.
a
I'm
bolt
gonna have
in
to.
it?
Well,
Oh, it's probably got one of them set screws, huh?
I'm gonna take that bolt out and see if I can get a better look at what we're looking at. I think the threads are messed up on it.
Is that just on? See, them other ones had a collar like that, and then they had the bolt in that collar right onto the rod.
Right. Oh, I feel there's a jam nut underneath that bolt.
Well, what holds it onto the rod? Is there a loop there? But there ain't two bolts.
There's a loop.
Oh, there is. So
Yeah.
it just pulls on one side.
I think so. I'm thinking, you want to move that back and forth, and then yeah, move that rod, and I'll make sure they all three work, and then I'll just tighten that up if
Yeah, that might be.
that looks like it. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, what do you want me to do with it?
Just move it. Hang on here, I'm working with Jim.
Okay.
Move it back and forth a couple times. There, that's good, Jim. I think we just need to tighten that. Because I think that bolt is the only thing that holds that on. I could get an open end in there, I think.
Okay, yeah?
Yeah. Must be ½ inch, I think.
Yeah, look that way.
See if there's one hanging in the shack.
Did Jim get done in that field?
Yep, Jim's done. I got the top tight, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose the wrench if I try to get the bottom tight, I think.
That's the hell of it. You know, they should have a cover over the whole length of that, so you can take the whole.
Right. Like a whole big access panel.
Yeah. So you can get at that stuff.
Time to unhook the ripper for the year. But I can't fathom the thought of unhooking that ripper where the grass is too tall. So I'm gonna fix this. You know what we need are those big jacks in the back. Those big, great big ones, because otherwise this tips. Leaning up on the far back corner of the top. Dang it. Okay, we got these lined up. There's one on each side in the back to keep the machine from tilting backwards. We are gonna toss the chisel plow on that horse now to clean up some end rows and try to bust up some compaction from loading trucks in spots. But in the meantime, I need a bigger hitch pin. That one's too little. There we go. This little guy. All that commotion in the yard a half an hour ago, and now peacefulness. It's weird. Let's go see what this thing does now after Ron and Sam widened it. Basically, they widened these out 1.5 inches on each side to widen this out. So we're gonna have a relatively wide berm for a strip till machine, but it seems like at the depth that I need to run, for whatever reason, we're getting a lot of dirt spoiling up. And we need to make sure those berms are correct, or else they're gonna be a nightmare in the spring. 5 before, are you guys up on March or Dales?
We're on Dale.
Okay, I'm gonna head up there with the strip tiller and just see what kind of job it does.
Okay.
This is public land here. This used to be multiple acres of trees and wildlife habitat. I guess we're just gonna tear that out and pretend that the wildlife doesn't like the trees. I can't imagine what would be said if a farmer decided to tear out a grove. Guess I won't worry about it. Nothing personal. Bunch of hypocrites. All right, we got everything set up. I want to drive 6 miles an hour. I got my auto track on. Let's hope this works. I'm gonna try it with no fertilizer first. Here we go. Certainly looks a bit better from the cab. I think I'm gonna go check. I did go deeper now. I may need to adjust some of those row cleaner deals again. Still pretty lumpy. Don't forget that there. Still pretty lumpy because we just it's just sticky. Look at that. That's the soil though. That is not the machine. We're not pinching, we're not spoiling. That's the ticket. And our berms are built up the way that they're supposed to be. Oh, that did it. It's a wide strip, which I don't mind. It's berming pretty much correctly. I'd say the problem now is just the moisture and stickiness of our soil yet. I don't know, these lumps do break up, but the lumps are ugly because of the soil. The machine is now doing what it's supposed to. We need a drier spot. I'm not applying fertilizer at the moment. I think I'll just stare at things a bit here. I did it. Remember I said I couldn't forget that there? Thank you for hanging in there, buddy. Sock it too. I am feeling so much better about this than I was 24 hours ago. I really don't even know that the lumps are that bad. I mean, they are over here. Why? Is that a row thing? Is that a row thing or just the spot? I've also been having the issue with the front meter housing, or the transmission it's called, on the cart. Totally separate from the tillage piece itself, so I'm just gonna recalibrate as long as I'm sitting here. And I remembered my impact. Bag is hung. Charge the meter. Charge the meter! Oh, that dust is salty. Come on, there we go. Let's see. Okay. 32. Strong 32. Minus a pound for the bag. 31. And front is calibrated. Now, do the same thing for the rear. Just different weight, different product, different weight. Just recalibrate. I did this yesterday, but with the issues we were having, they thought I should recalibrate again. We adjusted the sensor. Hopefully between those two things it works. And 32. All right, I'll convert our variable rate prescriptions here, meaning if you followed along, we are adjusting our rate throughout the field. So the red is low rate, green is a higher rate. That way the acres that need more get more, the acres that don't need as much don't get as much. Science and technology. How neat is that? That's all loaded up. We've got our fan running. I'm going to do one last check manually to make sure that both products are coming out of all 12 shanks all the way across. Then I'll maybe run around here. And then I think I'm going to get out of here and go to the drier field where I'm not doing damage by creating lumps like this. I see two products coming out everywhere. That's good. Now as we drive along through the field, this will be our rates in pounds of actual product that we are applying as we go, which is relatively low in this area of the field. If we go over here, we can see our map and watch it change different colors as we go. So over here we'll be applying a higher rate of potash. That's the front bin here, that's our potassium. There you can see there the rates are changing as we move, and we're creating a nice little berm, and everything is wonderful. I'm gonna jump out and make sure our depth looks good, see what I think the fertilizer's coming in at. I want the fertilizer down deep. I'd like to get it at least 5 inches deep if I can. The problem is that the shank runs below that because there's an anhydrous applicator underneath that, and they're trying to not disturb the anhydrous by putting on the fertilizer. Now, I don't have anhydrous on this rig right now, but that would be the ultimate plan. Yeah. I'm a solid 6 to 8 inches deep, probably averaging around 7. That's what she said. So I think I'm going to leave it right there for now, but look at how much nicer. We're not building up that big spoil here that starts pushing and plugging. I better go to work. Hey, this thing is way better. Way better. But it's still a little lumpy, especially in certain areas. But I think it would go really good at Hagen's now. Go gadget tractor teleport. There we go. Let's make this field look the way it's supposed to. Change fields to that one. Okay, change this to... I don't have to change that. Oh, that is so much prettier than what we did over there yesterday. Oh my gosh, look at that. Obviously much drier soil, much less sticky, coarser soil. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Now, we need narrower tires on the cart for sure. I understand that that's not ideal right there, but... oh, yes. That's what we're going for. So the tractor, the strip till bar itself, those are working fantastically. The transmission, clutch, whatever you want to call it, on the air cart is good. I haven't had a single issue with that. What I am having issues with is the potash, the potassium in the front tank not wanting to continue feeding out. So every once in a while I'll stop, crank it over, turn it manually. Right now I've got 4 random ones not feeding. The only fix I've found is to take the meter roll out, dump the fertilizer, hammer it out, stick it back in, and everything's good again. Something's plugging up, and it's driving me up a wall. I don't know if it's too powdery or what's going on. Tastes a bit salty, and you gotta get it out of here in order for it to really feed back in there nicely. I don't know. Always something, huh? I don't know if it's like the... I mean, it gets ground up like baby powder in there. I don't know if that powder's hanging up. It's a fun gig, you know, farming. Now we'll go in. What's the deal? I gotta get this empty tonight so we can get more coming tomorrow. I also need a shower, I guess, after digging in here. Are you gonna go in this time? Good thing my arms aren't any shorter. Ah, yeah. There we go. Oh, millennials don't handle this well. Oh. There we go. So I'm down now to 50 acres, and for the load that I had on, I should be able to do about 54-ish, according to my math. That'll depend a little bit on where I'm at in the field, since it's variable rates. Some areas I could maybe do 60, other areas maybe I can only do 45. I don't have blockage monitors on this deal, meaning if the hoses go empty and there's nothing feeding out, I don't know unless I go back there manually or open the tanks and look. So, I've turned my fan off. I am gonna go up there, climb the ladder and take a look in the tanks and see what I have left. If there's a lot left, something's either off on my math or something's not working right. But I have plugged up the front a few times, so I'm guessing there's more of that left than what there's supposed to be. We'll go find out. Starting to get a little chilly out here. I'm gonna need my sweatshirt soon. That's probably right. It goes quick at the end. I'll accept that. And the front tank. Ugh. More left than I want, but that's to be expected. I'd say both are acceptable, but I got a few acres left before I'm empty. I don't know if the camera picks up on it, but coyotes are going crazy over the hill. Oh, there is a warning. Not a warning that says you're empty and there's nothing flowing, but at least it gives you a heads up. I got a half around here, only on a, this is on a 40, so I got a quarter mile to go. I'll go that far and check it. Because I like to live dangerously. Well, I'm awfully close, but the rear tank is saying, well, it quit feeding out, so we'll go see what's up. Oh, we got almost enough to make it the next, and definitely too much potash left. That's frustrating. I don't know what's causing that. It's feeding out. Wonder if the rate's low. I keep getting out and checking it. Of course it is down there where it's doing that slope thing, and it goes really fast once it gets there. So maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am. I can see here it was still feeding. It was still feeding the map out, the phosphorus, so I'm just gonna run her. Mostly because I just want to go home. I'm gonna call it an evening here and park this thing. But before I turn the lights off, I better go take Old Glory down. Come on, here we go. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Only half of you are subscribed. The other half should do it now. Hit the bell. I'm supposed to say that, right? Hit the bell, comment, like, subscribe, do all those fun stuff. Bye. Oh, that timing on those lights might have worked out beautifully. I can't see anything. Awfully dark out in the fields tonight. I sure hope no bikini models come out and attack me. Nick, you don't have cows out, but you got one with its head stuck in a tree. Yeah. I'll walk down. He looks fine. I've never worked with cattle much. I imagine if I just go down there, I can get to the front of him, just kind of lift his head up. Maybe he'll get out of there. It is, yeah. I'll see. I'll back up my headlights here and. I'll see if I can get him out of there. I've seen a coyote do it once. It wasn't alive when I got to it. I assume the fence. Yeah, it was dead. I was thinking it was dead. Oh, there, he's walking there. He got himself up. He didn't like me walking towards him.